All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're getting into an absolutely mythic origin story. We're talking about a rebellion against heaven itself and the birth of a power so terrifying it changed, well, everything. So just listen to this. It sets the scene perfectly, doesn't it? We're not talking about paradise here. This is a universe of perfect, beautiful, and totally suffocating order. A gilded prison, really. And our story kicks off right inside that gilded cage. We're going to look at this universe and the one figure who existed there, right before everything changed in the most terrible, spectacular way. You see, this heaven was rotten at its core. They called it the Liturgy of Error, which, that tells you everything, right? It means the perfection was a total sham. A system of stagnant light that basically turned the entire cosmos into this giant, shiny tomb for every soul trapped inside. And this is where we meet the guy at the center of it all, in his first form. He wasn't some hero or guardian angel, not at all. He was the Pale Rider. His whole job was to be an agent of destruction in a world that never, ever changed. He was the end that could never really arrive. But, a prison like that, it's just begging to be shattered. And that's exactly what's about to happen. This is all about that one single, violent moment of rebellion that just demolishes the old way of things and lets something brand new crawl out of the rubble. And this wasn't some slow, gradual change. Oh, no. It was a four-step cataclysm. First, he somehow gets a hold of this forbidden knowledge, the frequency of the uncanny. Then he literally shatters his old self. The Reaper of Souls is gone. In its place, he becomes the architect of the mirror, remaking reality itself. And finally, he rises, reborn as the Crimson Judge. And that's the whole ballgame right there, isn't it? The shift is just staggering. He goes from being a servant of the grave, just a tool for ending things, to the architect of the mirror. A being who isn't just alive, but embodies a life that has straight up conquered death. He's not a cog in the machine anymore. He is the machine. So, okay, with a new body comes a whole new way of thinking, right? And it is radical. He doesn't just tweak the old rules, he burns the whole rulebook and starts from scratch, with a philosophy that is, well, it's terrifying. Just listen to this. This is his whole worldview in a nutshell. Wow. There's zero compassion for weakness there. If you're already failing, his job isn't to catch you, it's to give you a shove. He calls it a necessary harvest of the mediocre. He completely throws out the old ideas of good and evil. It's not about that anymore. The old system, it judged you for your mistakes, right? Weighed your heart against a feather. But the judge's law? It couldn't care less what you've done. It weighs your heart against its own inherent power, its own vital intensity. And that's it. That's the only thing that matters now, will to power. Think of it like the raw spiritual density of your soul. If you've got it, you get branded. You're part of the new world. But if you're hollow, you don't get punished. You just disappear. You literally vanish into his gaze. So, a philosophy that extreme, it's not just going to stay an idea, is it? Of course not. The judge's new creed immediately starts to reshape reality itself, and it is a violent, brutal process. And I love this quote from him. Think about it. He sees himself as an error. He's not a mistake in the system. He's the flaw that showed up to fix the system by breaking it, because the truth itself was so stagnant and wrong. Now, for the few who actually survived his first wave of judgment, he doesn't offer them peace. He doesn't offer them safety. He offers them the abyss. And it's not a place, it's a choice. A terrifyingly stark choice. You can either embrace the nothingness of being a passive soul, or you can fight to become a self-made god. There is absolutely no in-between. And with that choice, a new reality is born. This isn't just a change in thinking, it's a physical tear in the universe. You can almost hear it, right? A laugh like 1,000 breaking mirrors, and boom. He rips open the very first seal of the upside-down realm, a whole new, lethal reality based entirely on his rules. Okay, so this brings us to the big question. What now? He's remade the world, so what's his job? Well, as we're about to see, his work wasn't just a one-time thing. It's a constant, never-ending state of judgment. His official title, if you can call it that, is the active nihilist. Now, that doesn't just mean he believes in nothing. It's the active part that's key. He's constantly hunting down and destroying anything he considers a false image or a passive spirit. And the pieces left behind? He uses those shards to forge new, even more uncanny realities.
And these are the new laws of the land, laid out like a final verdict. First, the entire universe is found guilty of mediocrity. Second, the age of the protector is done, because what's a protector but a jailer with a shield? From now on, to really be alive means to exist in a divine frenzy, a constant battle. And he is the one standing guard over it all, the sentinel of the upside-down realm.
Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What is the point of a judge whose work is never ever finished? If he's always destroying and creating, where is it all going? And here's the kicker, the final mind-bending answer. There is no goal. There is no end. In his eyes, the biggest error you can make is to think this story is supposed to have a final chapter. Because for the Crimson Judge, every end is just the start of another, deeper, more visceral climb into becoming. The story has only just begun.